was told. And it's been so long, but I'm finally home and what better place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear?
Yes, good night, Grenada, Carriacopiti, Monica, and the rest of the world. I'd like to welcome you to another Mikey Live program, people. This is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey Olia. You're getting everything, suspense, drama, and action. I hope you all are ready for the weekend. We're not going to keep you long on Fridays. We try to be snappy on Fridays, you see, because we want to make sure you can go and drink all the liquor, manage waters, and then go on Wall Street and drink a beer. You know what I mean? Drink a Coke or something, you know what I mean? Yes, earlier. Let me fix up my clothes and thing, you know what I mean? Let me make sure my thing right. Good. Right, so folks, are you ready? Yes. No, folks, we have a lot of things to tell you about, right? So telling people the things that. Now, in the headlines for tonight, dust warning, weather bulletin for the state of Grenada, Vendome water system under valve regulation. Over 5,000 students benefit from water tank initiative at school. St. Andrew family slapped with drug-related charges and they've been granted bail. 57-year-old woman fined for possession of crack. Crack? What they call so? That now. All right. So, but we still need to apologize for that anyway. All right, guys. So we're here. We in full swing. We're ready for them. All right. We want to remind you that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean, Colombian Emeralds International, and WPG10. So all you hear what's going on. When you see we come back, is real news in Ole Lili Lolo.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world. We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are with fun. Whoa, oh yeah, whoa, oh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, oh yeah, whoa. Grenada to the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the gun. They can't. Get in your section, get in your direction. Get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
And so it begins.
A journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, so we are happy to welcome you back to the program, and to the people who are just joining us, I'd like to say welcome to you. There are some people who are here for the first time. However, you learned about the program. I'd like to say, well, I'm happy that you're here with us, and don't just make this a one-off thing. All right, I'd like to extend an invitation to you to always view the program. All right, good. All right, so folks, let's get into what's making the news for tonight. Now, the first thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, is that at Grenada, we are joining the rest of the world in celebrating World Water Day. Understand? It is no ordinary day, people. We have to think about saving. We have to think about conserving when it comes to water and how we can recycle or reuse. World Water Day is an annual UN observance day that highlights the importance of fresh water. Now, the day is used to advocate for the sustainable management of freshwater resources. World Water Day is celebrated around the world with a variety of events. These can be educational, theatrical, also it can be musical or lobbying in nature. The theme for World Water Day 2019 is Leaving No One Behind. This is an adaptation of the central premise of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. As sustainable development progresses, everyone must benefit, leaving no one behind. Happy World Water Day, and think about ways in which you can reduce on the amount of wastage. Now, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, the following are the results from matches played on Thursday, 21st March 2019 in the GCIC cricket competition, the Intersector. Adrian Gabriel Construction versus Office Pros. They played, and here's what. Adrian Gabriel Construction versus Office Pros. Adrian Construction scored 119 runs, all out in 15 overs. And the Office Pros scored 45 runs, all out in 9 overs. It was, oh boy. Anyway, there we go again. Dodgy Blazers versus Creative Designs. Now, it was a good game. Creative Designs made 93 for 6 in 15 overs, and Dodgy Blazers made 96 for 1 in 6.4 overs. Also, playing was the Credit Union United versus the Teachers. The Teachers scored 180 for 4 in 15 overs, and guess what? Credit Union United made 162 for 8 in 15 overs. We want to congratulate all the players and so on who played really well. Okay, we are moving on. Now we're going to tell you something about the bank. All right, the Republic Bank and what they are doing in the community. All right. Okay, let me see if I can get a for you. Papa, yo, I see somebody we haven't seen for a long time on the program. Bless up. Ah, damn. I missed a very important picture that I wanted to share with you as I share the story. But that's small thing, right? It's up on our website and you can check it out. Increasing the water safety skills of our citizens is a primary motivating factor behind Republic Bank's involvement with the National Learn to Swim Week. I really wanted to show all of that picture, boy. Now, 5 years ago, Grenada Youth Adventurers, led by Deb Eastwood, engaged Republic Bank to support the development of a National Learn to Swim Week, which has now expanded to 15 locations across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, benefiting an average of 600 persons annually. Now, the goal is to touch a total of 8,000 persons to teach them how to swim, all right, over a 5-year period. Now, the success rate so far is approximately 2,800. Now, the unfortunate reality is that far too many of our citizens do not know how to swim. I'm one of them. I'm born, raised in Guave on the bay. Ask me how to swim. Those were the comments in terms of the unfortunate reality from GYA founder Deb Eastwood. Now, this realization has led the GYA to develop a program to incrementally increase the number of persons across Grenada who can swim. Now, Republic Bank's Power to Make a Difference program has historically supported initiatives that positively impact the lives of our citizens. Now, through the National Learn to Swim Week, the bank has invested $10,000 annually to give as many persons as possible the opportunity to learn to swim. Now, speaking at the launch, Mrs. Elizabeth Richards Daniel, that's the manager of finance at the Republic Bank, encouraged citizens to take advantage of the opportunity to acquire this very important life skill. Now, the National Learn to Swim Week kicks off on April 23rd and it continues until April 27, 2019 at 15 locations across the Tri-Island state. Batway, Petite Martinique, Grenada Marine, St. David's, Soubise, Umbrellas, Annadale, Cameron Park, True Blue, are the Lassages as well, Grand Sarge Church, Grand Mall, Go Cool Steps, Good Hope Pool, Guave, the Lance Beach, in Carriacou, and Sauterres. Now, adults and children aged 6 and over can participate in the program by registering through the website getgrenadaswimming.com, or you can contact Deb Eastwood at 404-5237. Being able to swim saves lives. Republic Bank is proud to be a partner in this great initiative, they say. Or give them a clap now. And how much of all you on the program know how to swim? Just show all your hand. If all you know how to swim, show me a like. If all you don't know how to swim, show me an angry face. All right, folks, this one you'll need to know about. The royal visit is going to be tomorrow. And so the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force hereby notifies the general public, and in particular motorists, that on Saturday 23rd March 2019, there will be a delay in traffic along the following routes. Between the hours of 11:45 a.m. and 12:30 p.m., Maurice Bishop Highway, Caliste Public Road, Grand Dance Public Road, Belmont Public Road, Paddock Public Road, and Luther's Lane. Between the hours of 4:45 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., Grand Dance Public Road, Maurice Bishop Highway, and Mont Rouge Public Road. The following routes will be closed to vehicular traffic as follows: Lucas Street and all adjoining streets from 1:45 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Young Street from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Halifax Street from its junction with Gore Street and Cross Street from 2 p.m. to 3. Also, how are going in walk? From 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. with the exception of vehicles going to the hospital or persons going to work in WFM. Caronage Public Road from its junction with Young Street to Marine Villa from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force apologizes for any inconveniences caused. All right, good. We are moving on. Now, only the next thing that we have to tell you about is the weather warning. Now, we didn't get a warning the last time, and people wonder what was going on. But you know, the Met Office has been very proactive with this, and so they are sending out a warning relating to dust. Right now, the Sahara air layer SAL is an extremely hot, dry, and sometimes dust-laden layer of the atmosphere that often overlies the cooler, more humid surface air of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, dust plumes propagate westward over the tropical Atlantic Ocean with a low level of jet stream, and this creates both speed, shear, and drying over the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean. Now, as a result of all these phenomena, people are going to be a little uncomfortable, particularly people with respiratory problems for the next 2 or so days, as the Met Office has sent out this warning that a dense plume of dust is predicted to affect the Eastern Caribbean over the weekend. Now, people with respiratory problems and allergies, you are advised to take necessary precautions. Important to note, all right, that possible respiratory problems and reduced visibility can be experienced. Now, all this is based on a satellite imagery and model guidances. All right, we have been able to take a look at some of those modules, and yes, it does show that there will be a significant amount of dust in the area. All right, so please be guided accordingly. This is for Friday, and as we get closer to Saturday and Sunday, this is what we will be experiencing. Okay, Grenada is located on the left side of your screen. Okay, guys, so please be guided accordingly. A lady said it was really rough for her. She had to stay under her sheet for the weekend, last weekend. Yeah, yep. For some people, it was really rough and really tough. Yeah, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? Vendome water system has been added to the systems now under valve regulation. You understand? And NAWASA wants to inform you of this new development. Yes? And so the Vendome water system serves Black Forest, Constantine, Beaulieu, Mount Gay, River Road, Mount Morris, Bellevue, Snow Corner, Boca, and Melrose. Times water will be available 3 p.m. to 9 a.m. Again, 3 p.m. to 9 a.m. Now, please be advised that the information provided is based on the current water levels, and it is expected to change without prior notice depending on the availability of the supply. The authority continues to monitor the water system and its capacity to meet the demands, and will keep affected customers and consumers fully aware of the supply status as information becomes available, they say. Now, consumers, you are encouraged to collect and store water in clean covered containers, and that is prior to the interruption in your supply. They are also advising persons to please manage your water supply, taking into consideration the needs of your family members and your pets. Now, NAWASA say that they are always committed to meeting your needs. Now, with the Vendome water system, it brings now 4 systems, the number of systems that are currently being regulated. Now we have the Vendome water system, we have the Les Avocats, Petit Etang, and Mardi Gras systems, all under regulations. Those persons in those areas, you are please asked to be guided accordingly. We are moving on. The next thing we have to tell you about, boy, while we stick with NAWASA, over 5,000 students benefited from water tank initiative at schools across the island. I'm not making it up. Now, NAWASA, very instrumental in this, you know, and here's what they have gotten, you know, it's not like they ain't choose no big school. You understand? You know, sometimes only big school and big name school and things like that all benefit from things. You understand? Here's what they did. It's been a few days now. They have been engaged in handing over water tanks to those schools. They officially handed over 17 tanks to 17 schools. You understand? They all benefited with water storage tanks. Give them a clap. And that's under NAWASA's Community Water Storage Project. Now, the project is a collaboration between NAWASA, the Ministry of Education, and the National Disaster Management Agency with funding from SIDEMA. It resulted in over 5,000 students and schools across the island benefiting through this initiative. You understand? Now, it ensures that there are basic water storage facilities in all of these schools, thereby improving teacher-student contact time when water has to be shut off for one reason or the other. So in other words, if there's something, a broken water main or something happening like that, and NAWASA needs to take water, then you have a situation where they tell all parents of students attending the Westmoreland Secondary, no, nothing so. All that thing will be a thing of the past. So when they take the water, you have water tanks that's going to supply the students. You understand? That's the aim. That's the idea. Now, Community Supervisor Ms. Jamila Samuel and Mr. Arthur Pear from the Ministry of Education, they visited some of the schools, Venda Marcy School and St. John Christian Secondary School and thing. They do the little ceremony and thing and they hand over the business. Or they give them a clap. No, that is good news. We tell, listen, man. Hello. Clap. When we tell them all the good news, we're supposed to clap. You understand? So I thought that was a really good idea. And so they fix up. But them like a children now, they look nice now, boy. Anyway, there we go. How we looking again? More story now, we going again. St. Andrew family slapped with drug-related charges, but they have been granted bail. I'd like to officially welcome you to the Indie Papers segment. Now, the Indie Papers segment is a segment where we highlight some stories from newspapers in Grenada. The first story that we want to tell you, it comes from the Grenada Informer. It says that police prosecutor acting on behalf of the state raised no objection to the question of bail as a family of 3 netted in a recent drug bust in the town of Grenville appeared for the first time last Friday at the Grenville Magistrates Court. The 3, Leroy Williams, 53, Lyndon Beggs, and Magdalene Beggs, was slapped with a criminal charge, namely trafficking of a controlled drug, after a search on their property on Sendell Street in the town of Grenville last Thursday unearthed just over 230 pounds of marijuana. Now, we told you about that. Now, according to information reaching the Grenada Informer, the drug valued at $529,000 was discovered by members of the drug squad acting on special intelligence inside an abandoned building allegedly belonging to the family. Now, during their brief stint in court last Friday, the 3, represented by defense lawyer Arlie Gill, were each placed on $40,000 bail with 2 sureties by the presiding magistrate Nevlin John. Additionally, they are all required to surrender all travel documents, report to the Grenville Magistrates Court once per week between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and must seek the court's permission in the event that they have to travel out of Grenada. They are expected to return to court on May 16. If convicted, the 3 faces fines in excess of $1 million or imprisonment for 15 years. We are moving on, Olia. Now, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, is another drug-related story. Hear that one. 57-year-old Pansy Jones of Sendell Street, Trenchtown in St. Andrews, slapped with 2 charges relating to possession of 5 portions of crack cocaine, which carries a street value of $500, was fined $1,000. The woman has 3 months to pay the fine or serve 3 months at Her Majesty's prisons. Jones was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled drug and possession of a controlled drug with the intent to supply to another by law enforcement officers. She pleaded guilty to both charges when she appeared before the Grenville Magistrates Court on the morning of Friday last. Now, police became interested in the woman by the suspicious look on her face when she was spotted in the Tivoli area, some 2 miles away from her home. She was held and officers were in the process of carrying out a search on her when she dropped a black plastic bag containing the illicit substance later identified to be crack cocaine, according to the prosecutor. Now, she told the court before sentence before sentence was passed on her that she wanted to do her laundry for someone in Tivoli, and that her reason for being there, but the drugs had been given to her to sell. All right, so she tried to make her money, and somehow the police saw that she was looking suspicious, and they conducted a search, and they find a business on the business, and then she ended up in bad business. All right, good. How are we looking for time? I never hear. I didn't even know that thing still raining. Crack cocaine, I can't think. Anyway, earlier, the next story that we have to tell you about, we want to join our sisters at Caribbean Update to tell you this one. They say regional cracks on Venezuela appears as selected Caribbean leaders sit down with the U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday, today, at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, to discuss business.
Appreciate very much you all being here. We look forward to seeing you downstairs.
The controversial Mar-a-Lago summit was underway at news time. The meeting behind closed doors came after the leaders posed for major photographs. In distributed video, the 5 Caribbean leaders thanked President Donald Trump for the opportunity for the discussion. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Alan Chasney praised what he said was Trump's leadership.
I want to thank you for the support and leadership that you've been providing in our region.
Jamaica's Andrew Holness said that he believes that Friday's talks will, in his view, advance peace and security in the region.
We look forward to discussing regional issues to do with the peace and stability of the region.
Others may choose to go a different route, but we stick to the principles of peace, not war, to the principle of sovereignty, not imperialism or threats of violent coercion.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Keith Rowley has, however, brushed aside suggestions that Port of Spain had been snubbed by his non-invitation.
There are people in Trinidad and Tobago who believe that because Trinidad and Tobago was not invited to the private residence of an American president, we are somehow diminished. Ladies and gentlemen, we have never stood taller. We have never stood prouder.
Rowley suggested that the meeting does not have official CARICOM blessings, saying only 3 regional leaders had been mandated to represent the body of the caucus on the issue. The Trinidad leader noted that from 15 members, only 4 have been invited to Friday's meeting with Trump.
I speak to you now. CARICOM's position, as reaffirmed in the last meeting of heads in St. Kitts, is that there are 3 people representing and authorized to represent CARICOM outside of the heads and its caucus, and that is the chairman of CARICOM, who is the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago through its Prime Minister or designate, and Barbados through its Prime Minister and designate. There are 14 CARICOM territories, yet the conversation is about 4.
The Caribbean leaders invited to the controversial summit had in January supported a resolution at the Organization of American States (OAS) in not recognizing President Nicolas Maduro's second 5-year term. But CARICOM leaders at their intersessional summit in St. Kitts and Nevis last month reiterated their position of non-interference in the internal affairs of Venezuela. I am Shamika McDonald reporting for Caribbean Updates Primetime Caribbean.
Thank you very much, Shamika. Okay, thank you very much, Shamika. See you tomorrow, Shamika. All right, very talented young lady. All right, folks, so we are moving on. All right, now hold on. Every time I read that story, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because, you know, when you have somebody who you look up to and they get themselves in trouble, it's almost like it's baffling. It's baffling. But the police have charged journalist Rihani Isidore in relation to a bomb hoax at the VG airport that's in St. Lucia. Now, he was arrested and charged on March 20th, 2019 on 2 counts of bomb hoaxes and attempted suicide in relation to the hoaxes. Isidore was escorted to the First District Court, where he was granted bail in the sum of $2,500 each on the 2 bomb hoaxes in cash or suitable surety, and on his own recognizance for the charge of attempted suicide. Now here's what. On Wednesday, February 20th, at about 6 a.m., law enforcement officials responded to a report of a bomb threat at the George F. L. Charles Airport. All right. Now on March 5th, the police issued a statement saying that on February 28th, 2019, one individual was taken into police custody in relation to a bomb threat to the George Charles Airport. Now, on the same evening, the suspect was transported to the Victoria Hospital having ingested a substance. The statement continued. Now, it went on to say that the suspect is in a critical condition at a medical facility and has not been charged. Now, the statement was deemed confusing by many, and by the time of its release, rumors were swirling everywhere that the suspect was in fact the Mikey Life famous as well, Rehani Isidore. Now, to add fire to the confusion, the Media Association of St. Lucia released a video statement saying that Isidore continues to fight for his life in hospital without giving a reason for his hospitalization. It says, "We understand that rumor and speculation has and will exist, but while we await official word from the relevant authorities, the Media Association of St. Lucia makes no further statements on the matter." The Media Association's president, Miguel Frevry, said in the video. Now, it is important to note as well, Miguel and Rehani were both colleagues at the HTS News Force. Both voices have been featured on our program in the past. Now, in relation to the arrest and charging of Isidore, the police quoted Section 362 of the Criminal Code, which states as follows: bombs, hoaxes, sending messages or articles to alarm or injure other persons. To a person who communicates any information which he or she knows or believes to be false to another person with the intention of inducing in him or her or any other person a false belief that a bomb or other thing like to explode or ignite is planted in any place or location is liable on conviction on indictment to imprisonment for 5 years, or on summary conviction to imprisonment for 2 years. Section 94 of the Criminal Code. It states aiding and abetting of suicide, attempt to commit suicide. A person who aids and abets the commission of suicide by any person, whether or not the suicide is actually committed, is liable on indictment to imprisonment for 20 years. Attempts to commit suicide is liable on conviction or indictment to imprisonment for 2 years. So there's A and there's B. All right, so there's aiding and abetting, which is 20 years, and the attempt now is 2 years. I would like to hear the story. I would like to know, how did we end up here? You know, how did we end up here? Anyway, we told you several days ago about an accident or an incident. I don't know if it's an accident, it's an incident. We call all vehicular incidents accidents. We shouldn't, but we do it anyway. We do not know if it's an accident. So we told you about an incident where a woman was hit in Trinidad and Tobago by a police officer who didn't stop, by the way. He didn't stop. He just mowed the woman from the sidewalk. She was walking on the side and he mowed her. All right, she did. Folks, today, another such incident has happened in Trinidad and Tobago. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is personally treating with both investigations into recent road traffic accidents, you see they say accidents again, involving officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services. Now, according to a statement issued today, Griffith immediately suspended the driving privileges of these officers as it relates to the use of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services vehicles and has ordered an internal review of police driving standards. Now, an unidentified man was killed while attempting to cross the priority bus route in the vicinity of 3rd Avenue, Barataria, just about 11 a.m. today. Now, according to eyewitnesses, the man tried crossing from south to north along the zebra crossing when, on reaching halfway across the road, he was hit by a police vehicle. Now, on Tuesday, police arrested one of their own colleagues who allegedly hit a woman with a speeding vehicle in Diego Martin. Now, the woman was walking on the pavement when she was struck down. Well, not struck down, she was mowed. You understand? Now, they are saying that the investigation into that incident has commenced. You understand? So that's 2 in a matter of days, people. Police officers, never hear that yet. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? It's Friday. We do keep it all along. We tell all you know. How are we looking? Right. We're looking pretty. All year. The following persons, or anyone who knows the following persons, you're asked to inform them that the names have been mentioned on the hot list on Mikey Live, and they're required to call 420-8226. The number again, 420-8226 ASAP. Garvey McPhee, Loreto Guave State, St. John. Kira Juggernaut, Vincent St. David, Ayana Paul, Vendom St. George, Theron Francis Corinth St. David, Laurie Dunbar, Tivoli St. Andrew, Kesia Strawn, Westerhall St. David, Junior Fraser, Fontenoy St. George, Donsha Lewis, Paraclete St. George, Paraclete in St. George too. Raymond Lewis, Montgranby, Grand Roy St. John, Delroy Peters, Bolio St. George, Augustine Philip, Mama Khan St. Andrew, Linus Charles, Latan St. David, Omega Antoine, Marley St. David, and Mondeli St. George, Dean Braveboy, Frequente St. George, Shakira Maxwin, Frequente St. George, Renisha Regis, Lamora, Molyneux St. George, Urban Gregory Sharp, Tebaidin St. David, Philip Batiste, Mardi Gras St. George, Dwayne Raj Jerome, Tempe St. George, Christopher Beggs, Felix Park, Sherlan Ambrose, Guelph St. John, and Judy Filbert, Lamode St. George. Again, if you hear your name on the program, don't call me. Call 420-8226. You know what I mean? You never know, you might get like a roti or something. You know what I mean? You might get like a roti or lime juice. I don't know, just call the number. Got your name on the hot list. You know, beat it. I don't know why your name on the hot list, but you never know, Anyway, how are you looking for time? Olia, here what going on? Take all the time in me, okay? I'm taking a break, and when I come back, national reporting all the Lily Lolo.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the tongue. That is how we are, we fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Bruv.
Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah!
Okay, I see. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah, there you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
All right, folks, and now it is time for the National Report.
Grenada makes another step towards public sector modernization. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, March 22nd, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada has moved one step closer to finalizing its digital transformation agenda, which forms part of its thrust towards public sector modernization. On Friday, government officials met with representatives of the World Bank to conceptualize a plan on the way forward. In 2017, Cabinet approved the public sector reform strategy, which has integrated ICT as one of its 4 pillars. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Department of Public Administration, Ms. Rhonda Jones, says the digital transformation will enhance service delivery in the sector.
We would have solicited the assistance and the support of the World Bank in fleshing out that agenda and coming up with a program of activities that we can implement that would result in the digital transformation of the public service. And so we had a meeting this morning where we were conceptualizing our digital transformation program. And so we are currently building out a project that is aimed to transform service delivery within the government of Grenada, leveraging ICT technologies.
Resilience is the watchword for the program. The transformation will make the sector more accessible, easy and convenient during and even after crisis conditions.
When we experience the effects of natural disasters, Hurricane Ivan, Emily, and so on, we usually suffer a huge loss in terms of the records of the government and the records of the various ministries and so on. And these are very critical records. And one of the things that this project will definitely address is the issue of resiliency in service delivery. And the backbone of that is our ability to access, to retrieve, to store the information that is entrusted to us as public officials in ways that will protect them and that will ensure that we are able to access them, whether we are operating under normal circumstances or whether we are forced to operate under crisis conditions.
This move will also put Grenada ahead of its regional counterparts as the island develops cross-cutting platforms to enhance service delivery. Permanent Secretary Jones says Grenada has only one chance to get it right, hence a timeline of 5 years has been set to roll out the program.
That is simply because the systems, the ICT systems that would be critical to enabling the service delivery will require sufficient time to ensure that we design systems that are not only robust, but systems that are actually effective and practical, systems that work. And we want to ensure that we devote enough time to do the necessary design work, the research, to secure the best possible advice, so that when we invest in the development of these systems, we do so confident in the knowledge that we are building systems that we know will work and will support the outcomes that we envision for this particular project.
Developing a national quality policy will help Grenada's push towards a blue ocean economy and energy efficiency. That's according to Mr. Derek Omar, the CEO of the Caribbean Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSQ, who also says that a national quality policy document that networks all institutions and people is critical not just for trade but also human and social development. Mr. Omar was addressing the kickoff event of a CDB-funded initiative, Strengthening of Regional Quality Infrastructure Program, Development of a National Quality Policy.
It sets up consumer awareness, health and safety systems. And the quality policy also articulates methodologies to protect the quality of your environment, which is really critical because you have one of the foremost strategies of developing a blue ocean economy of all the member states in CARICOM, and that's very commendable. You're actually leading the way on that. And the quality policy will help that. A national quality policy will also articulate ideas of how to better secure energy efficiency in all your electrical appliances and in your buildings, as well as complement the development and promotion of your national building codes. And last but not least, having a national quality policy here linked with the national quality policies of other member states will surely help the development and growth of the CARICOM single market and economy, because then you have a harmonized quality infrastructure throughout the region.
One of the components of this project is the development of national quality policies, or NQPs, in 3 CARICOM member states: Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, and Suriname. The goal of this is to support and strengthen national quality infrastructure development within these states and to strengthen intra-regional trade. Minister for Trade, Industry, Cooperatives and CARICOM Affairs, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, says government throws its full support behind the CDB-funded project.
My attention was also captured by the intention of the national quality policy to be used as an essential instrument to develop a quality culture in all sectors of Grenada's economy and society, which ultimately supports the diversification and growth of the economy, improves productivity, increases safety and security, protects the environment, and contributes to the long-term well-being of all citizens of Grenada. The quality policy intends to help Grenada business sector to exploit commercial opportunities, to compete in global markets, and to participate in international value chains. The policy will be designed to enable quality infrastructure to respond to the demands of private firms, public organizations, and consumers.
Grenada, through the Grenada Bureau of Standards, has been selected as one of the member states that will be given support for the development of its national quality policy, which is expected to be completed by December 2019. Director of the Bureau, Mr. Robert Medford, says they are looking for demand-driven initiatives to support the development of quality infrastructure.
When it is developed and implemented, it will transform the landscape of quality in Grenada and support the national development plan of the country. So, to this end, we have established a project steering committee to ensure that the objectives, the strategies set forth truly address our needs.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Data reveals that rats and other rodents are responsible for the transmission of many diseases. In Grenada, the most common is leptospirosis, and it can cause your death. This disease is directly related to rats and mice infestation. Signs and symptoms of lepto, as it is commonly referred to, are high fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. If your home had or is infected with rats and you have any of these symptoms, please check with your doctor immediately. Declare war on rats. Starve them. Kill them. Rats are the most unwelcomed guests. Reduce, control, eliminate them. This is a message from the Ridge to Reef Project. protecting biodiversity and ecosystem functions.
Continuing the news, final preparations are currently underway ahead of the visit this weekend by their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. The Prince and the Duchess will be met on arrival by Governor-General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade. The first engagement on Saturday will be at the Parliament building starting at 12:30 p.m. to an official Guard of Honor welcome ceremony involving our security forces and inspected by His Royal Highness and the Governor-General. Ms. Philomena Robertson, Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, highlights the activities planned for the royal visit. The local organizing committee has been intensely involved in preparations over the last several weeks ahead of the royal visit on Saturday, March 23rd. Just to give you some insight as to some of the activities that are planned, their Royal Highnesses will be welcomed with a guard of honor outside of the Parliament building. There will also be a reception on the upper floor of the Parliament building that will be attended by a number of specially invited guests, including representatives of the business community and various groups across the island. On the carronage, Royal Highnesses will be greeted by live steel band music. There will be a farmers market set up that will display a wide array of local fresh produce and spices. At the Grenada Dive Shop on Grand Dance Beach, the Royal Highnesses will be able to view a number of marine conservation projects as well as a variety of local arts and craft. There are a number of other engagements planned, meetings with the Governor-General, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade, meeting with the Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, as well as a sustainability round table. So that gives a sense of the activities that, just some actually, of the activities that the Royal Highnesses will be engaged in during their visit to Grenada on Saturday, March 23rd. The visit to Grenada is the fourth stop on a 7-country tour of the Caribbean. Other countries included on the itinerary are St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Cuba, and the Cayman Islands. Keen rivalry continued on day 2 of the zonal games in Carriacou in the lead-up to the National Secondary School Games carded for April 5th. The games on the Sister Isle is the final leg in a series of zonal meets held throughout the island. Field events were held on day 1 of the competition on Thursday between the 2 secondary schools on the island, Bishop's College and Hillsborough Secondary. Acting Sports Coordinator Curlin Peters is pleased with the zonal meets and anticipates continued support from the schools and communities leading into the final on April 5th.
So far, we are shaping up for our national secondary school games to be excited, full of competition, and with a lot of spectators.
Parliamentary Representative for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, the Honourable Kindra Mathurin Stewart, was present to support the athletes. She's eager to take the championship trophy to the Sister Isle.
I know that once we are combined, once we are together, then we are actually a force to be reckoned with. So I look forward to the national competition in a couple of weeks' time, and I know that Carriacou certainly should come out on top.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Ms. Ralda Kwamina, encouraged the students to see the games as one that qualifies them for international sports. She too is confident that Carriacou will win the April 5th games.
See it as the meet that would put you out on the world stage. We never know who is looking on. So the athletes of the secondary schools in Carriacou go out and display athleticism on the tracks. Be the best that you can be. And remember, all athletes are already winners. There was keen rivalry, keen competition, and we see some excitement. So Grenada, look out. Carriacou is coming.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Thank you very much, Leslie Ann, and everyone else who were instrumental in the production of the National Report. Let's take a look at the generic weather. It is now 25 degrees Celsius, and it is saying that 25 will be the lowest for tonight. Precipitation 13%. In fact, it is drizzling now. Humidity 88%. Wind 18 kilometers per hour. All right, guys. And it's kind of clear with periodic clouds, according to this. All right, guys. So that's it right there for your weather, and I hope that you stay on the safe side. All right, and folks, and that's as far as I can take you for today too, for tonight. And I want to wish you all the best. Let's just take a look at who's here with us. We have Zaka, we have Nika, we have Sharon, Kirin, Suzette, Deslin, Ala, Angel, Nikki, Lintona, Kirin, Danica, Shirin. Punishing you with what? Camille, Abby. Did I say Deslin? Did I say Shirin? Did I say Jade? Did I say Sharon? Did I say Patsy? Did I say Colette? Who else is there with us tonight? We have Helen with us. We have Ezran as well. And everybody else who's with us, right? Meryl is there. Jennifer is there. My mom is there. Danica is there as well. Well, we see Jade. We see Casilda is there with us as well. And to all the folks who are viewing via WPG10, we want to say thank you for viewing as well, all right, guys? And that it's a pleasure. If anything happens, big up Veronica, all right? Zaka, big up. If anything happens and we have to come on live, then we will. I have a live for you tomorrow around 9 o'clock, guys. Come back here tomorrow, God's willing, at around 9-ish, 10-ish. Let's say 9, 10-ish. Late tomorrow night, we're going to have a live of the lifetime. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we will be back here tomorrow, God's willing, at around 9, 10-ish. Okay, so I'll see you guys then. Thank you again for viewing, and may God bless you and your family, and be safe for the weekend. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say good night. Ja! No. Enjoy your weekend.